I don't even know where to begin. Hello everyone, my name is Jesse Heisel. If you're familiar with this channel, you know that the horror genre is what I'm all about. Fortunately, I'm not going to be talking about a horror film today. I wish I was, but oh god. So, anyone that knows me knows that whenever I hear there's a controversial movie coming out, I'm one of the first people to go see it. If I hear it's controversial, or I heard it got banned in a certain country, or it's considered the scariest movie of the year and people can't get through it, I'll go and see it. I guess I'm a glutton for controversial films. You know, I've seen everything controversial. You know, I've seen Cannibal Holocaust. I own all 3 Human Centipede movies. If it's controversial, most likely I've seen it. So then I get word of this Netflix movie called Cuties. Now, if you're unfamiliar with this movie, a quick summary is this shy girl who is under the house of a very religious mother is trying to figure out who she is, find her own identity, and she befriends this more outgoing girl at school, and this friend happens to be a part of a dance group, and so the shy girl decides to join the dance group, and they are wanting to go into this big dance competition and hopefully win. Now, on paper, that sounds completely fine. However, the reason why this movie is so controversial is because these girls are 11 years old, and the type of dancing they're doing is the most explicit, over-sexualized dancing that I personally have ever seen in a movie. And people are pissed about it. If you're still unsure of what I'm talking about, here's the poster that Netflix decided to market the movie. First off, Netflix, what the fuck? Like, seriously? I mean, get it off the screen. So that first ticked off everyone because of the clearly over-sexualizedness of 11-year-old girls. And so I've been like reading the articles and everything about people wanting to cancel Netflix and everything, and I even read a few interviews with the film director. I'm not even going to try to pronounce her name because I'll butcher it. I know I will. But here's the director. And basically, once the controversy started, she argued that people should at least see the movie first before they criticize it. And you know what? That's fair. I'm a filmmaker myself. I guess the old saying, you can't judge a book by its cover, even though the cover is... But I went, okay, you know what? That's fair. I won't completely judge until I see the movie. Well, I saw the movie, and I gotta tell you, I agree with all of the criticism and backlash that this movie has gotten. This was this was rough to get through. I have seen a lot of controversial movies, but none of them hold a candle to this movie. And I've seen a Siberian film. There's no way I could have prepared myself for what I was seeing. I mean, look, let's just get into it. The over-sexualized dancing. These are all 11-year-old girls. Real 11-year-old girls twerking, over-sexualizing their dance moves. The camera work makes everything very provocative, and oh god, my stomach's turning even thinking about it. Like, I literally got a headache and I nearly vomited at one point while watching this movie. It was way too much. And usually I'm like, I don't really make a big deal when people make twerking videos and stuff, but the people who make twerking videos that I watch are of legal age. I don't want to see 11-year-old girls twerking, wearing booty shorts, crop tops, just spreading their legs. It made me sick. I was screaming no throughout a lot of the movie. I was doing this, just biting my nail and just feeling tense the entire time. It made me so uncomfortable. I've never felt so uncomfortable while watching a movie. And after seeing this movie, I'm sorry, but the director, she has ruined whatever future career she may have had after making this. There is no way she's going to be able to recover after this. It doesn't matter if she's able to make another movie or not. She is going to go down in history as the woman who made the 11-year-old twerking movie. That's all she's ever going to be known for after this. This was... No. I mean, here's the thing. I want to see more female directors, but I don't want to see that. That is just something I never wanted to see. That is something I wish I never saw. And how did no one just go, hey, maybe we shouldn't do this? And I understand the message she was trying to say. She was trying to send a message about how young women, young little girls are very impressionable, and how we should stop having so much over-sexualizedness within the media, because young girls are very impressionable and are basically ruining their youth because of this. And look, there is 1,000 different ways you could make that message work in a movie. However, the director decided to do it in the worst possible way you could do it. You don't try and make a message about the over-sexualizedness in media by making a movie that over-sexualizes little girls. That would be like if I had a cat with me right now and went, hey guys, I'm here to tell you that you shouldn't abuse animals. For example, you should never do this. And then I just start viciously punching the cat in the face. It completely devalues what you're trying to say. There are so many different storylines you could have made with this message in it. Just off the top of my head, you could make this movie about an influencer, like, I don't know, maybe like a Instagram model who becomes popular by over-sexualizing her body and she becomes famous, but then down the line she realizes that she's being impressionable towards a bunch of little girls who begin to be scandalous and over sexualized because they idolize her, and it becomes a waking call to the influencer. Or even if you're dead set on making that type of movie with the twerking and the dancing and all that, do it with 18-year-olds. Just have the movie still be about these friends, but they're 18, and make the story the same way. Sure, it's still going to be a little controversial, but at least you can go, well, at least they're 18. Or if you wanted to make them underage, you could still hire 18-year-olds that could pull off looking like a 15-year-old. Still be controversial, but at least you could still go, well, at least the actors are actually 18. There's so many different ways you could have done this. But instead, you went the complete worst way you can do it. And even if this wasn't a controversial movie, to be honest, this movie isn't really that good anyway. Like, the main characters are not likable. Like, I didn't like any of the main characters. They're all just brats, basically. They're always bickering and fighting with each other and just being over-sexualized, which I hated. And it's just, they weren't that likable. The main character was probably the worst one. She went from being this little shy girl to at the end she's dressing slutty, she's constantly stealing, she's lying to her mother all the time. She just becomes this bad person, and she doesn't really learn anything at the end. I just didn't like any of these girls, and these are the main characters. You're supposed to have them like each other, or you're supposed to like them, and they weren't even nice to each other. I mean, there's one point where two of them got into a fight, and then the two main characters, they had this moment where one of the popular girls goes, "I'm still willing to be your friend, but not in front of the other girls." Like, what kind of friend is that? Yeah, I'll be your friend, but not in public. But that's not a friend. And also, I don't know if a lot of people notice this or not, but they also had fat shaming in this movie. It's very subtle, but I noticed it. At the beginning of the movie, before the shy girl joins the group, there happens to be a chubby girl within the group. The other girls are these really stick figure type girls, but they're 11, so of course they're going to be stick figures. But one of them happens to be a little on the plus side. But then once the shy girl joins, the writer makes an excuse to kick the fat one out of the dance group, basically. And then, on top of that, once they rekindle their friendship with the chubby girl towards the end of the movie, very subtly, they added in that the chubby girl is starting to be bulimic. It's very subtle, and it happens quickly, but I noticed it. So, how is this supposed to be empowering towards little girls? Like, I don't understand that. Like, it really messes with the whole empowering women things. Like, oh, don't be over sexualized, and don't let the media take control of who you are, and also don't be fat. It's like, it's just mind-boggling. And then there was parts where they were trying to make the mom look bad. The mom did nothing wrong in this movie. Like, the mom is the only one who had a level head in this entire movie. Like, her daughter lied to her, stole from her, started dressing slutty. Like, this mom was in the right all the times for slapping that kid around in that one scene. Like, the kid was being disobedient. The story also doesn't hold up very well. Like, when I really got to thinking about a lot of stuff, there is a lot of plot holes in this movie. Like, for starters, the shy girl stealing her uncle's cell phone. How did that phone keep battery life? She didn't steal the charger. She's hiding the fact that she has a cell phone from everyone. How is she keeping her phone charged? That didn't make any sense. Another plot hole that I noticed, I guess you could consider it like the possession scene. I'm not really sure what was going on with this scene, to be quite honest. This scene was just weird. Basically, at one point, once the mom found out that the daughter was stealing and lying and all this stuff, she, I guess, thought, because the family's very religious, she thought maybe her daughter was possessed, I guess, by a demon. And so what they do is the mom and her aunt strip the girl down to her underwear and start splashing her with, I guess, was holy water. And then for some reason, the girl just starts, when she starts getting sprayed with all the water, she starts gyrating, moving around, starts twerking on the floor and everything. And it made no sense, because a scene later, a priest comes to the house and tells the mom, yeah, this kid isn't possessed. There's no demon inside her. So then why was she acting like there was some demon inside her, making her gyrate and twerk around in her underwear, which was really disturbing, especially the way they filmed it. It's like, stop filming this 11-year-old girl's butt twerking. I don't want to see that. But, like, if she wasn't actually possessed, why was she convulsing and twerking? Like, what was the daughter just fucking with her mom? Like, that made no sense. And another plot hole, which was really disturbing me, was when the uncle finally found out that the shy girl took his phone, which, by the way, took him long enough. What was it, like weeks, possibly months, that she had this phone, and you finally realize it? First off, no. Alright? In this day and age, if you lost your phone, you would either find it that same day, or you would cancel your entire subscription, or you would get a new phone. You wouldn't go weeks, possibly months at a time without the phone. Like, you would still get billed, so you would know someone was using your phone. And anyway, this whole scene was just fucked. Like, the uncle confronts her, finds out she has his phone, and to try and get the phone back, she tries to seduce her uncle. Oh, this made me very uncomfortable. She starts taking her clothes off, and the uncle's just like, what the fuck are you doing? And so then she doesn't know what to do, so then she just takes the phone, goes to the bathroom, and then she starts taking pictures of her vagina, and then posts them to, I guess, Instagram, wherever these girls are posting their videos to get popular. I'm assuming it's going to be Instagram. Let's just say it's Instagram. So she posts her vagina to Instagram, and then the whole school finds out, and then they're all being deemed as sluts and everything. And first off, no. Okay? If you post your privates on Instagram, your account gets deleted. Okay? Women who wear too skimpy of an outfit have gotten their entire Instagram deleted. So your Instagram page is not going to be up if you start uploading 11-year-old vagina. So that was just unrealistic. And then when it came to the actual auditions, this made no sense to me. You actually see the shy girl is late for the auditions, but she's able to see her friends actually do the audition for the tryouts. But there's only 3 of them, and they're screwing up the choreography. They're not good. and it's just a mess. But yet somehow, even though they completely botched their audition, they're able to make it to the finals. What did like 4 people audition? How can you mess up an audition that bad and still get into the finals? What? And then the ending wasn't satisfying because the main character didn't really learn anything. She didn't realize that dressing slutty or dancing provocatively was a bad thing, anything. She just had her period on stage, I'm assuming. It was never really explained why she suddenly started crying and ran off stage in the middle of the performance. I'm assuming she had her period because that was something that happened early on in the movie. That's my best guess. I don't really know why she suddenly just ran off stage crying. But let's just say that's the reason why. She had her period, so she ran off crying back to her mom. And that's really it. She doesn't really get punished or anything. She just, at the end of the movie, she just ends up skipping rope. Like, all of a sudden she like refound her innocence. Like, why? What made that change? Why is she suddenly not being this brat? There are so many flaws to this movie. So needless to say, I did not enjoy this movie for all the reasons why it's controversial, to the story just being just not very strong, and it's just I do regret watching this movie. I did not like it. I felt dirty after watching this. Like, and right now people are doing the hashtag cancel Netflix right now, and I just want to comment on that real quick. I don't really think that's going to work, to be quite honest. Like, yes, Netflix fucked up putting this movie on their platform. That is, I will agree with that any day of the week. But Netflix isn't going to go out of business over this movie. The only way there will be a real impact is if like half of all of the Netflix subscribers all cancel their subscription at once. Then some big changes have to happen. But after all this is said and done, I'd probably only imagine maybe 4 or 5% at most of everyone who's subscribed right now will cancel their account, and rightfully so. Like, I don't blame anyone for wanting to cancel after seeing this. Like, they're completely in the right. But yeah, I don't know. I'm willing to give Netflix a second chance because this is the first time personally for me where they've really screwed up in my eyes. But I'm kind of thinking of it like this: like, yes, Netflix put it on their platform, but they didn't actually make the movie. Like, they didn't fund it or anything like that. They just happened to find the movie from like a film festival or something and picked it up. So they didn't actually make the movie. So Netflix definitely screwed up. They definitely need to do something to make it better. I mean, first thing, most obvious thing is get the movie off of your platform. Because an apology isn't going to really do it. You got to make some action. You got to make some real effort. Like, take the movie down, donate some money to like sex trafficking funding campaign or something like that. Show some effort that you're hearing your audience and want to make amends, because I just can't recommend this movie to anyone. Like, honestly the only people I could see imagining liking this movie for all the wrong reasons are horny 12-year-old boys and pedophiles. Like that's it. Like this is a pedophile's wet dream if I've ever seen one. Because the way these little girls were filmed was, God, it's just disgusting. Just disgusting. It was just, wow. I couldn't imagine anyone else aside from a pedophile who could actually truly love this movie. Because the whole message behind this was completely ruined once they over-sexualized these little girls. There's whatever message this director was trying to make was completely ruined as soon as they started doing close-up crotch shots of 11-year-old girls. It was gross. I felt sick after watching it, and I never want to watch it again. So usually after these reviews, I usually take a look at IMDb and see what the rating is. Right now, considering this just came out, this movie on IMDb, the rating is floating around 1.5 to 2 stars. So would I agree with this rating? Yeah, I would. Because I just can't recommend this to anyone. I just couldn't see this being enjoyable for someone aside from like a pedophile or a horny 12-year-old boy. It's just but anyway, that's my review on Netflix's Cuties. I regret watching it. I will never watch it again. And I could honestly never recommend this movie to anyone. So I hope you enjoyed this review, and I'll see you next time.